In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a boondoggle keychain. You're going to start with 1 yard of 2 different colors of plastic ribbon or plastic lacing. I'm using the brand name Rex Lace. So I've already pre-cut these into 1 yard strands. And what I'm going to do first is I need to find the middle because I want to make sure that this is symmetric. So I'm just going to take my ends, meet them up together, and follow that through so that I can find the middle of each of those strands. I'm going to pinch my fingers there holding that middle so that I don't lose it. Since I'm going to be building this on the key ring because it makes it a lot easier, I'm now going to take my key ring, still pinching, don't forget that, still pinching, and I'm going to thread my key ring through a pink and a green. Okay, letting that slide all the way down until it reaches the pinched part. And there we go. We're going to just kind of stack it all together in that pinched area. Now, I am building this on the keyring, so again, it gives it some stability, but it also kind of increases the challenge. I need to make a plus sign right now, and the keyring is kind of in the way to do that. So I'm going to do the best that I can. One color is going to go up and down, and the other color is going to go side to side. So right now, my green is on the bottom, and it's going up and down. My pink is above that, going side to side, and I've got the keyring that's kind of going around all of that. Whatever color you have on the bottom, that's where you're going to start, because I'm going to start looping around and I need to make sure that it's going to stay in place on the bottom, so the bottom thread is where I'm starting. So here's my green thread that goes up and down. I'm going to loop that over, so it was up above, I'm looping it over so that it goes down. And this one that's on the bottom, I'm going to loop it over so that it goes on the top. And when you do that, you're going to see we kind of create this loop. This is the looped end and this is the loose end. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to kind of hold those with my fingers to secure them. And I'm going to take this pink lace and I'm going to do the same thing, only the whole point is we're trying to do this weave. So I'm trying to capture this loose end so that it's no longer loosey-goosey. And once I capture it, then I can go underneath this looped end and pull it all together. So again, I'm just taking this end that's on the right side. I'm going to loop it over the loose end. It's loose, but I'm just kind of tucking it under my finger to hold on to it. And I'm going to loop it through that looped end. And as I pull it tighter, you're going to see it's going to start capturing this loose end and pulling it tight under there. And now, since I went right over to the left, and I'm going to take this left strand and I'm going to do the same thing. I want it to loop over, and this time here's that loose end, so it's going to capture the loose end. And here's that looped end of the green, and it's going to go through that. So over the loose and through the looped, pulling that through. And again, as we start pulling it tighter and tighter, you're going to see these ends start coming together. Looks pretty loose, so I'm going to take 1 green and 1 pink in each and just start pulling. You'll see it starts coming together. Switch and pull. And each time when I pull tighter, I'm going to keep a pink and a green end together and just pull. And then I switch this pink with the other green, this pink with the green, and just pull. Continue to tighten that. And that is the hardest part. If you have done that, then you should feel accomplished. And now it's just a matter of continuing to weave. So each time, it doesn't matter which color you start with, each time the pinks are going up and down now. And so I'm going to loop it so that it goes up, and this one is going to go down. And again, in doing that, you can see I've created a loop for my green to go through, and I've created a loose end for my green to capture. So I'll start here with this green. I want it to go over the loose end to capture it and through this loop to secure it. So over and under, pulling it tight, and as I pull it tight, you can see I'm securing that loose end here, and it's going through that loop. Same thing with this end now. Here's that loose end. I've let my finger go so you can see there's the loose end. And again, this green is going to go over and then through the loop. Pulling it tight, and you can see it's going to capture it. Now, what's happening right now is it is twisting on me, so I do want this to be nice and straight, and so I just fixed that as it was twisting. But again, take a green and a pink and pull it tight. a green and a pink, and just pull it tight. Rotating pink and green again, pulling it tight, pink and green, and pulling it tight. And that's it, that's the basics. You can see we have now done 2 stitches, so as I turn it to its side, I'm going to have a pink 1 and 2, or if you're looking at the green side, you'll see a green 1 and 2. Let's do another stitch. Again, it doesn't matter which one you start with, so maybe now I'll start with the green, loop the greens over, and now here's my loose green end. So this pink is going to go over to secure the loose green and go through the looped green to secure that. Pulling it tight. This pink, here's that loose green end. So I'm going to go over the loose green end and through the looped green end and pulling it tight. And again, if it twists up on you, you can always fix that here at the tightening stage. There's my over, under, and we just pull it tight. Rotate so that this green and this pink are now together, pulling it tight. And that's it. Again, let's count our stitches. We now have 1, 2, 3 pink stitches and 1, 2, 3 green stitches. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to teach you another stitch that you can make. This is just going to produce what we currently have. It's just going to produce a rectangular sort of keychain. And those are pretty cool, but sometimes you want to increase the design, making them circular or adding some twist elements. So now that I have got 4 stitches, and you can decide at any stage that you want to start adding in this new stitch I'm about to teach you, I just want to show you the difference between what those 2 stitches are going to look like. Okay, so for the stitches so far, when I've taken a strand, I've just folded it right over on top of itself, like this. That's how I'm creating those loops. Now that I've got a little bit more to hold on to, you can see what's happening. So again, here's the loose end that's loose. I'm just holding it with my finger, folding it over the loose end and through the looped end. And now the other side. Again, you can see the loose end that's being secured by my finger, but now I'm going to secure it with the ribbon over the loose and through the loop. That's your basic square stitch. When you want to get creative and start adding these twists or making it a more circular keychain instead of this very rectangular looking one that we have now, then instead of going straight across, I add a twist by going diagonal. So again, instead of here, I'm going to go here, which means this one is no longer going to go across. It is also going to go diagonal. And that means as I'm using the green to try and tuck it in, you can see if I go over here and tuck it in, it's going to be loose. And so these are also going to be going on a diagonal. So here's that loose pink. I have to go over the loose and through the loop. And that's going to be going at an angle. And same thing with the green. Here's that loose end of the pink that I need to capture, and you can see here is that pink loop. So over the loose and through the loop, even though we're going at an angle. Again, sometimes it's going to twist up on you like that. We're just going to tighten it, straighten it up. And again, it's still going to tighten the same way. It's not going to look too different. When I do a few more of these stitches, you're going to see the effect that that angle has. So I'm going to repeat that again. Again, instead of normally going straight directly across, I'm going to go at an angle. Same thing with this one. Instead of going straight across, we're now going at an angle. These 2 stitches, these 2 are still going to stay parallel. These ones are not crossing over. And now, using the green, again, you can see where the loose end is. So using the green, I'm going over the loose end and through the loop, going at an angle. And that means this one is also going to go at an angle. There's that loose end I'm trying to secure. There's the loop I'm trying to go through. Again, pulling it tight. Now with a couple stitches in, you can start to see what's happening. Here's all of my pink that was square. My last 2 stitches, you can see it's starting to rotate around. So if I were to do a straight stitch right now, it's going to turn the green side into the pink side. If I continue to do these angled stitches, it's going to continue spinning it around. You can see and decide what you want to do here. So I'm going to make this a straight stitch now. So remember, the last 2 stitches I was going at an angle, but if I'm going to go back to that straight stitch, I'm going to go straight across and straight across. We're still always weaving, so I'm still always tucking in the loose end and looping it through the loop there. Over and under and pulling it tight. Now you can see exactly what has happened. And that is my green side has now twisted around and is going to be the pink side, and my pink side has now twisted around and is going to be the green side, and I've got a couple of pink stitches showing up there. So you can continue to twist, and if you always twist it, you're always going to just have this nice sort of spiral pattern. If you just do a twist every once in a while, then you'll start seeing how it changes shape and how the colors start alternating. When you've finally had enough, when you will make yours probably about this long, when you've had enough, then you're just going to finish up with the ends of your boondoggle. Just going to tie them around themselves, loop it through, and pull it tight like that. And if you've used up all your boondoggle, you wouldn't have a big long extra like that. You'll probably have about that much left, and that's just the fringe there at the end. That's it on how to make a boondoggle keychain. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.